who's about to graduate or going through a school right now, do they really need to know where they want to be? Because when I was graduating 12th, and even after college, I did not know where I wanted to be. And it's, for me, in my opinion, it's fine if you don't know where you need to be.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the answers. But then, what are your thoughts? If or your message to children who are in that phase, who take so much stress just because they don't know where they need to be?
Yeah. I mean, when we were speaking earlier, you were telling me about how you studied finance and now you're working with children.
Yes.
So
Sports. So
yeah, exactly. So that's a huge difference to what, you educated yourself with and what you're doing and what you're passionate about. So you are a classic example of somebody that I'm assuming would have followed what was expected of them, and you pursued your education, made mom and dad happy, I'm assuming. And then
not as much as
and then you decided to follow your heart and you did that. And for me, I feel like everyone that meets me tells me that I feel like an old soul. Like, I'm so mature for my age. People always think I'm older. And even when I was 21 or something, they thought I was in my 30s. And it's not because of how I look. It was just the way I spoke and conducted myself. And I feel it's because growing up, I had my mother as my best friend, and she was older. And then I would hang out with her and her friends, if I didn't hang out with my own. So I had all these mature mindsets that I absorbed from such a young age. So I knew what they were going through much later in life, when they were having those moments of questioning themselves and their careers and their decisions up until that point. So I was doing that 20 years earlier than what they were doing. And I knew that the decision of what I choose to do for the rest of my life is so important. I remember, when you're growing up and you have an idea of what you want to do with the rest of your life, I had no idea what that looked like. I just knew I wanted a cool job that paid me a lot of money. That was it. What it was, I had no idea, no direction towards. So I feel like it's okay to feel lost. I remember I didn't even apply to university when I was in year 12. Everyone else applied, got in, and they're like, "Oh, Joe, I'm gonna go to university. I'm gonna travel. I'm so excited." And I'm just like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to work in my mom's kennel. And that's it. I'm going to make no money for myself and just give everything to my mother in our home and taking care of everybody. I never asked for anything for myself. Everything was about everybody else. And that was fine for me because that's what I wanted at the time. Because I needed to take the time to make the decision of what I want to wake up and do every single day. And at the time, when I did get into air traffic control, it was to take care of everybody else, to take care of my mom and my sisters. And then I fell into really liking the job. And I realized now, reflecting back, not everybody can do that job. So because I took a moment to think, what do I want? I fell into a line of work that I've been doing for 10 years. And, not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I do it well, that you wouldn't be able to be in a career for as long if you didn't do it well and you didn't enjoy doing it. So take the time to really ask yourself, what do you want to do? How are you going to, conduct your day? Because at the end of the day, it's going to be what you are doing, not what anybody else is doing. It doesn't matter who you make happy or sad about it, but what makes you happy and what fulfills you and gives you the life that you want. And sometimes you have to explore and try different things, like I worked in my mom's clinic. I did it very well, but I realized that's not for me, and I was true to myself. So my advice is to be true to yourself, because even if you have aspirations like I did when I was a kid, cool job, lots of money, maybe that'll come to you in a way which you don't realize, but you have to give yourself a chance to find that opportunity. Like I always say, I let the universe decide my path, because I applied to so many programs. So I gave myself the chance to get something. And then, I made sure that every opportunity I got to be interviewed, I did really well to the best that I could, not anybody else's standards. And then, I decided to follow the path that came towards me, but I made sure I was open to everything, So I feel like that's what's important, to be true to yourself, to follow your path based on, what it is you truly want, but to also make sure you're open to it. You can't just sit there and not apply to anything and then expect something to come straight towards you. You know, no one's going to know. No one's going to give you opportunities